Chapter 4, Worm Bin Lid Manufacture and Assembly. The materials you'll need for this section will be a 3/4 inch by 2 foot by 3 foot wood panel, a handle. I'm using a zinc screen door pull that goes from 4 inch to 3/4 of an inch. Some drip line, the 1/4 inch with a complementary 3/4 inch faucet adapter for your garden hose, and a drip line stopper for the end of it. About 2 dozen zip ties and 4 wood screws.
A piece of poster board. We'll be using a scrap piece around 2.5 feet by 2.5 feet square.
The tools you'll need: I used a pencil, some string about 2 feet, a T-square, I'm using the 4 foot, a Sharpie, a circular saw, some sandpaper, a drill,
a 1/4 inch drill bit,
and a screwdriver. In previous versions of Hortodomi, we used a burlap mat with an embedded drip line as a worm bin cover. This design functioned well, keeping the worm bed evenly moist to dark. It wasn't the easiest cover to replace after it had been removed, and it wasn't the easiest piece to make either. I never got the hang of stitching short wooden dowel rods into layers of folded burlap. For this fabrication, we're going to try wood with a handle on top, so it can be easily replaced. The two designs may end up needing to be combined, affixing the burlap into the inside of the wooden worm bin lid.
Mike uses a piece of string, a screw, and a pencil to draw a template on a piece of poster board. We're going to use this template for both our worm bin lid manufacture as well as our worm bin. The circumradius of our worm bin is 12.64 inches. So Mike uses a 12.64 inch length of string connected to a screw mounted in the center of the poster board as a guide to draw the template's outer circumference. Mike then uses the 7.81 inch wide steel plates that will be the worm bin's outer walls as a guide to finish drawing the decagon template.
After all the dimensions are double checked, Mike trims off the excess paper. Place the decagon template on the 2 foot by 3 foot wood panel. Make sure 2 flat edges of the template, being 2 foot apart, sit flush with the sides of the wood panel. Once the template is properly situated on top of the wood panel, use the pencil to trace the template onto the wood. Next, Mike uses a circular saw to cut off the excess wood. It's nice to clean up the edges of the wood after it's been cut as well. Mike makes sure to hit all the edges with some sandpaper on a block. Using the string compass and the pencil, mark a 1 foot diameter circle in the center of the panel using 6 inches of string. This is a guide for installing the drip line. The drip line will actually enter the bin at a corner in the lid. I chose one of the 2 corners that runs with the grain of the wood. Draw a straight line from this corner to this circle. You don't want your drip line to bend at a right angle, however, so free sketch in a gradual bend appropriate for your drip line, leading this straight line into the circle.
To help keep the lid in place, we mounted 2 small sections of wood cut from our scrap piece. Ours measured around 3/4 inches by 1 inch by 7.5 inches.
Now that I know where my drip line is going to be, I set about drilling the holes where the zip ties that will hold it in place will go. I drill a pair of holes on either side of the marked drip line at 8 points around the circle in compass rose fashion, and 3 points along the line. Once the holes are drilled, place your drip line in position to measure the appropriate length to cut. I tried to make sure I fit as many drip spots into my length as I could. Zip tie the drip line in place with the zipper on the underside of the hose. Don't zip too snugly and cut off any flow. Once everything is in place, clip off the excess zip tie. Don't forget to put the appropriate plug in the end of the drip line.
Mount the handle on the top of the lid, centered.
And that concludes the worm bin lid manufacture and assembly portion of this DIY Hortodomi instruction.